The faint cries of a girl echoed through the village night, her voice trembling with desperation. No one came to her aid. By dawn, whispers filled the air. What had Mr. Jacob done? Mr. Jacob was once a loving father, devoted to his daughter Mary, but something had changed. Greed gnawed at his soul, turning his love into obsession. He wanted riches, whatever the cost. One fateful day, Mr. Jacob met a mysterious man in the marketplace. The man, cloaked in shadows, spoke softly, "I can give you all the wealth you desire, but only if you sacrifice what you cherish most." Jacob hesitated. The thought of losing Mary made his stomach churn, but his hunger for wealth overpowered his fatherly instincts. "Tell me what I must do," he whispered. Mary was oblivious to her father's plans. She continued her daily chores, humming happily as she fetched water. Her kind heart never suspected the storm brewing in Jacob's mind. That night, Jacob sat alone, staring at the mortar and pestle the man had given him. His hands trembled as he imagined what he had to do. He kept telling himself, "It's for a better life." The night was eerily silent. Jacob crept into Mary's room, holding a cloth soaked in a strong herbal concoction. With a heavy heart, he placed it over her face. Her struggles were brief, and soon she lay still. Jacob carried her limp body to the backyard, where the mortar awaited. The air was thick with tension as he prepared to carry out the gruesome act. The man's instructions echoed in Jacob's mind, "Her blood must fill the mortar, her screams will summon your riches." With trembling hands, Jacob raised the pestle and struck. Mary awoke in agony, screaming for her father to stop. Her cries pierced the night, but Jacob's heart had hardened. Tears streamed down his face as he continued, blinded by greed. As the last scream faded, the mysterious man appeared, a sack of gold in hand. "Your wealth, as promised," he said, dropping the sack at Jacob's feet. The air reeked of blood and betrayal. Jacob stared at the gold, his heart torn between triumph and despair. The man's final words echoed in his ears, "Wealth earned through blood carries a curse." Jacob returned to his house, clutching the gold. But as he tried to sleep, Mary's voice haunted him, "Papa, why did you do this to me?" Her laughter and cries filled the room, driving him to madness. The gold, which had once gleamed brightly, began to dull. Whenever Jacob touched it, his skin burned as though it carried the weight of his sins. The next morning, the villagers noticed something amiss. Jacob, who had always been quiet, was now screaming into the night. They gathered around his home, their curiosity piqued by the strange sounds. When they saw the bloodied mortar and pestle in his backyard, their shock turned to horror. They realized Jacob had sacrificed his daughter for riches. Jacob's wealth brought no peace. His health deteriorated, and his once proud figure became frail and broken. The gold he had killed for remained untouched, a constant reminder of his sin. The villagers ostracized him, their scorn weighing heavier than the curse itself.